But talking to somebody about their favourite book, now a lot of people, now I've done this with corporates, right, with boards, and I've said to them, I'm going to ask you what your favourite book is. You should see some of the BS that comes out, right? You get oh yes, I'm into Dostoevsky and blah, blah, blah. Then you ask them a question and they haven't read it at all. So they give you books that they think they should have enjoyed, that they think is the right answer. It's really interesting. There's definitely some behavioural nonsense going on there. But let me just give you a few references that are, these are all good books. These are not books that I haven't read. These are books that I know really, really well. And so the first one, Wonderful Woman, Nan Shepherd, The Living Mountain. Now, look, not a big book, short book, full of gems. It's a glorious book. And what I particularly like about it is that she gives, like, this little quote here is brilliant. To aim for the highest point is not the only way to climb a mountain. Clearly that can be applied to anything in life. You don't always have to aim at the very, very top. There's a lot of dead people on Everest who aimed at the top of Everest. So sometimes, again, with the goal setting thing, people I think sometimes get persuaded to go, the big hairy goals and the stretch targets and all the rest of it. Yeah, stretch targets are fine, but the only way you can achieve a stretch target is with significant personal development. The only way you can achieve a stretch target is with significant personal development. And that's the sort of gem that you'll get in that book. Do you know she wrote it, I think it was in the 60s, and it wasn't published until the 90s, or even the noughties. I think it was the 90s. She kept it in a drawer. It's quite incredible. Brilliant book. And I don't, no apologies for going all Scottish on you earlier, because it was nice. Next, an artist. Now this guy, Celaya, he's called. He uses the last part of his name, Enrique Martinez Celaya. Celaya is mainly a sculptor, and he paints these massive murals, effectively. Now, his painting's fantastic. There's one called Burning Tree, which is wow, it's just wow. But what I love about him is he describes the processes, and then actually I can just prove it. I'll open it at any page, right? Right, any page. One problem with being under the spell of a certain way of thinking is that it narrows the field of possibilities. Now, I didn't look, it's not prepared. I didn't put a mark in there or anything. I just opened it. The man is a genius. He's a true genius. And when, this is a whole book of little thoughts that he had when he's doing his painting. And again, you can cross over. You can use things from different domains to create conversations, to create interest, to improve understanding, to create empathy. By using these as conversation starters. It's absolutely fantastic. The next step, and I did talk about artists, didn't I? Again, this is a book. Now, if you've ever been in any of my relationship management courses, you'll have heard me say, this is the book you need to read. It's called Sidewalk Flowers. It was made and published in Canada. I came across it in the Brain Pickings website that I told you about before. It's about a little girl going for a walk with her dad. And her dad is distracted by the mobile phone, and it's just quite beautiful. It gets across, you could write reams and reams and reams and reams about this, but the only person who's not on their phone is the colour on the picture. It's a bit Schindler's Listy, I think. It's slightly scary, but there's a little girl there. Isn't it wonderful? It's an absolutely amazing book, and I love it. And it's I kind of have an image in my head that I haven't spoken to any of my artist friends about it, but I'm thinking I'm going to, where it could build on it, because what I would never want for my children is that they were a grown-up, and just as they were walking out the house to go to university, I was staring over the event horizon on my laptop as they left. Can you imagine how bad that would be? Because you missed them being children. You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be doing that. And then the final one, it's Stuart Ritchie. This is a completely different type of book. These are thought-provoking books. These are all lovely, beautiful books. This one is very thought-provoking, but it's all about the scientific method. Now, you might think, oh my God, I'm not interested in the scientific method. Once you've read this book, you will be, because this really helps to explain how amazing science is and how amazing it has been at influence. I think it's not the only way. It's not the only way. I know it's not, but I highly recommend it. Now, Stuart, again, is another Scotsman. He studies in London now, but it's a terrific book, and one that I have gone back to quite a few times. There's one or two technical chapters that get a bit mathematical, but you can skip those. It's the rest of it that will really help you understand the process and the problems with the process, which I think is very, very worthy of spending some time with. Indeed, it would be time well spent.